What's up, fellow lords of gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Marvel Future Fight. So today we jump right in and we discuss the upcoming update for Squirrel Girl and Thanos. Who would have thought that we were essentially going to get an April Fool's update that was going to feature Squirrel Girl getting her T3 and Thanos getting his Tier 4? Weirder things has happened, but it's coming tonight, so let's take a look at it. I really thought this was going to be a joke, but it's here nonetheless, so let's take a look at it. So this is CM Fragment of Marvel Future Fight. Agent, these heroes have changed their looks in celebration of April Fool's Day. Check out the new look and powers of the Titan, who is living a peaceful and ordinary life on the field, and the unbeatable Squirrel Girl, who has taken her powers to new heights. So that's going to be a rolling update tonight. We'll go over these patch details here in a second to talk about those specifically. Over on the Twitter sphere, we got nothing really there, but you did get the T4, so we know we were getting a T4 for Thanos from this, and we got the unbeatable sign that pops at the end of the trailer, so you know you're basically getting a Squirrel Girl T3, which is confirmed for us. Now, there's a couple of things that I want to go over inside these before we specifically jump into the patch notes. Number one, we do have the 8-year homecoming party countdown. So there's the beginning. So you can see at 8 PDT for 4 to the 25th, there's going to be a tier 3 selector giveaway, which should include your standard run-of-the-mill characters. So let's take a look at those notes real quick here. So basically, this is CM Fragment. As we await for the upcoming 8-year homecoming party events, we have prepared the countdown check-in event. Special gifts going to be given to you. We've seen this before, so like we typically tend to get these. So basically, starting out, we're going to get a selector for both X-Men and Norma characters, so you get your X genes and your bio characters. That's really cool, specifically for the people that haven't gotten some of their characters leveled up. We get some black antimatter, nothing really to write home about in terms of these. Then we get day 15, we'll get a tier 2 mega advancement ticket. So if you need to get at this, really weird because these have lost value for a lot of veteran players. Then we go across some more materials. Going into day 10, we get an 4-star artifact chest. Unfortunately, I feel like this artifact chest is really just going to be, your standard crappy artifacts. Then we get some awakening crystals on day 9. Day 8, we get 300 crystals. That's nice. We get some Odin's blessings on day 7. Day 6, some cosmic cube frags. Day 5, Titan components. Day 4, essence of dimension. Finally, a tier 2 selector. And day 3, a level 6 advanced potential enhanced ticket, and then 600 crystals on day 1. So basically 900 total crystals. And then on day D-Day, we get a tier 3 selector character. So if you notice down here on the bottom, it'll tell you which characters you can actually use from tier 3 selector. Captain America, Spider-Man, Black Panther, Cyclops, Falcon, Iron Man, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man, Storm, War Machine, Thor, Winter Soldier, Captain America, Sharon Rogers, Rogue, Taskmaster, Black Widow, Vision, Black Bolt, Ghost Rider, Shang-Chi, Hulk, Daredevil, Venom, Loki, and Hela. So there's some decent free-to-play choices inside there that you can basically go for. Not bad. You can rank those as you want to, depending on how you view them. Me personally, Black Bolt's still my favorite character on there, so if you don't have him, I would definitely take a look at him. Definitely makes playing Giant Boss Raid pretty easy. But that's a pretty nice event that they basically have coming in. You really can't complain about it, right? So we also have the Pranks for April update celebration event that's going down. So this is CM Fragment of Marvel Future Fight. An event will be held in celebration of the Pranks for April additional updates. Spin this April with Thanos and Squirrel Girl. So I really liked Squirrel Girl's, she takes the look of Thanos with his obsidian uniform. It's so bad that this is an event uniform because this looks like such a plain drab look for Thanos. It just doesn't look good. But basically, this is the schedule. So you're going to have the April Day uniform sale that's going on. So you get a crystal uniform purchase schedule. Basically, you got Thanos and Squirrel Girl. If you don't purchase these uniforms now, then you won't get them. So you basically have till the end of this patch. Now, notice that Squirrel Girl is going to be in here for delightful tokens, which means that her uniform is going to cost you probably $30, right? It's weird. She got those buck teeth. Well, actually $20 because they usually give away 10 of the tokens and then you have to collect the others. Thanos being the character that he is, he's going to be 2,500. Nothing off from there. Deadpool April Fools and Gwenpool April Fools. I can tell you right now, the Deadpool uniform probably not worth getting, and even at this point, I don't know if Gwenpool is worth getting, but I doubt it. All uniforms are going to have 40% off. You probably still best waiting, because probably for the 8th year celebration, we'll get a 50% off. We get the energy bonus missions inside of here for your energy used. They really need to update these rewards. We get the hero growth, the bonus mission, basically a tier 4 Thanos. I hate to say this, but this is going to be a surprise to a lot of people, because Thanos is basically going to represent one of our first like characters, like Jean Grey, that's going to probably cost an arm and a freaking leg to get to tier 4. I know I'm not going to be able to do it. Then you basically roll into uniform upgrade bonus mission for each of those. Yeah, okay. Squirrel Girl gets an advancement reward for a character ranking event. I think a lot of people will tier 3 her because it's just like a Squirrel Girl. She's a popular character. Then we get your Black Antimatter surprise gifts. We get artifact unequipped cost 50% discount event. That's not so bad. It's like artifacts are weird. Like if you equipped it, like no, who's equipping these artifacts? Like for real. Anyways, then we get the 7-day check-in event for all, and there you go. You see your delightful tokens, 10 of them right there on day 7. So you can wait till day 7, get those 10 tokens, and then pay the $20 fee basically to get the uniform. Now, if you really want the Gwenpool uniform, then you're probably going to pay a little bit more. So those are pretty good events for those, but the rewards are just kind of lacking. They really need to come back around to this event and how we look at it. Let me take this off so I get some music going inside this game. Load this up right now so we can get this going. All right, so Squirrel Girl has her April Fool's Day token shop. It's going to be open, so you can see inside here. Basically, we've had this event before, you know, like the token shop is open. You're basically going to be able to open up the delightful April Fool's Day chest for tokens and basically get some of these items inside. This is just for the whales and the whales alone. I would not imagine a lot of players to get after that event, so don't do it. Just trust me, don't do it. Like, where's my music on this? There we go. Yeah. I needed some of that music, man. Forgot that I didn't have it on. So anyways, so we also have Squirrel Girl's play chest that's up inside here as well. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this uniform in game. So you can basically, we've seen this play chest before. You basically buy the play chest to get some of the delightful tokens. This is going to be your best method of basically getting the delightful tokens, mostly because it's probably going to be the easiest path to you getting some of these. Like you can get these rewards inside here. Now, if they do add other chest events inside there where, like, you know, you pay like $20 for, like, you know, some crystals and something else, then that's going to probably be your best method. But like, I typically tend to go with these so that way I can get, you know, some of the items inside here, gold and stuff like that. But we'll see what other items are going to get you tokens when the update goes live. So lastly, we got the Thanos growth pack inside of here. So what are delightful tokens? Basically tells you whether okay, so here we go. So we got Thanos's growth pack inside here. He gets a first potential realization ticket. They're selling this with it. This doesn't mean I gotta imagine that we're gonna get hit hard on in terms of how long it's gonna take for him to reach his potential realization, unless you get absolutely lucky. But you do get 100 delightful tokens. So I guess there's that. I don't really particularly see that as like a big boon. So let's take a look at the teams over here. Excuse me, Jesus, what did I do here? So let's take a look at what we have for the teams as we go in here. So let's see. So we got Thanos, and he's getting his update inside this uniform. Yeah. So we got Thanos, and then we got Squirrel Girl. Got to get those nuts, right? So let's see. So we got Thanos and Squirrel Girl going inside here. We'll get rid of MODOK over here, and we'll take a look at these. So now, here goes the cool thing about this for Squirrel Girl, right? No matter how you look at this, whatever they did for her, guess what? It's going to be an update for the character. Like, you're 100% getting an update for the character, no matter how you looked at it. This uniform is probably old as hell. It's just a weird look overall. Let's take a look at what we got here, right? So it's kind of cool. She increases basic damage by 110% for one attack for 5 seconds on there, right? So if we go to the patch notes, we can see that's her new uniform effect. She's going to basically be one of those uniforms, like if you really want to play Thanos and get him for like to do World Boss and to do PvP, then you're probably going to want to get her uniform, because for her, that uniform effect is now going to change to, it applies to Thanos and it increases basic damage dealt to boss types by 60%. She also has and applies to self, where she decreases basic damage received by 20%, has an activation rate when HP is below 30%, applies to self, she recovers 70% HP. That's pretty nice. It's on a 120-second cooldown timer though, so be aware of that. She's not going to be your PvP god, right? But 60 seconds there. So now let's take a look at the skill effects that she's basically got inside here. So passive skill is now going to be Unbeatable Vigor. All right, so it was Cosmic. Excuse me, I'm going over the wrong one. Yeah, no, it was Cosmic Defender before, but now it's going to be called Unbeatable Vigor. So it's going to apply to self 30% of physical attacks. So you can see she was increases basic damage to universal types for 25%. Now she's going to increase physical attack as well, and she's going to get increased skill damage by 15% and increased bonus damage by 15%. So that's pretty cool. So Unbeatable now is going to become Mammal Ascendant, and she's going to increase chain hit damage by 15% when attacking and increase guaranteed dodge rate by 20%. So we get the bonus here. We lose the summons. Yay, because summons suck in this game. And we lose out on increased HP by 15% for these summons. So we no longer have summoned characters here. Can't say that's a bad thing, because they don't seem like they understand how to treat summoned characters essentially, and they just kind of screw up the game anyways, right? So not a lot to write home on her first skill, which is now called Walnut Blast. Just deals burn for 40 seconds. Second skill, she basically gains bleed, stun, and paralysis. She already had the stun, but we get a 1 second increase, and then she gets paralysis as well. Her third skill, which was Tail Whip, is now called Knuckle of Darkness, and she's basically getting applies to enemies. She gets silence, incapacitation, and paralysis, and then she also gets applies to self. She recovers 20% of HP for 1 second, and then increased basic damage by 90% for 1 attack. So we see how the skills basically got moved around, with some of her abilities that were on her previous uniform are now moved into her into her kit. So essentially this is good, because you got the 70% increase at 60 seconds, and then over here Knuckle of Darkness is going to allow her to do recovery every like 8 to 9 seconds inside here, and she gets the bonus damage of the 9 second 90% for 1 attack over here. So that's pretty cool. So her fourth skill is going to be called Unbeatable Despair. She gets burn, and then she gets increased basic all defenses, all basic attack and defense by 41, and crit rate by 30, which also removes capacitation, and a 100% chance to grant all damage immunity at 6 seconds. So on 16-second cooldown, so it's like 8 seconds. So you should be able to rotate back into this and keep that damage immunity up for quite a while. On her fifth skill, which is now going to be called Squirrel Order Bomb. I'm dying to see these skills play out. I am so dying. We lose on the summons, thank God, but we get her damage accumulation here. We get bleed. Nobody cares about it. Fear. Decrease all basic defenses by 50%. She gets applies to self. Her accumulation is 10% of pure damage when attacking, and 1% increase all basic attacks for each 1% of pure damage accumulated. So that's going to be pretty nice for the character overall. In my opinion, this is a kit that just screams alliance battle. That's what I basically see inside her. She's going to be a Alliance battle type character. Hopefully she's going to be dealing a massive amount of hits. Now, Squirrel Girl is also grading her tier 3, and she gets paralysis, which ignores immunity. She ignores target's dodge rate by 80% and 80% chance to penetrate. Shields invincible. Gains invincible for 9 seconds. Increase all basic attacks for 50%. And yeah, so let's take a look at that tier 3 animation here. It's going to look a little nutty, just so you're aware. But basically she summons a bunch of squirrels. They come in, do some attacks to your target, and then she basically rains down a bunch of walnuts on them. So it's every bit the gimmick costume that you would think it was going to be, and every bit the gimmick T3 that you would think it was going to be. But I mean, it's Squirrel Girl. It's a gimmick character anyways. Like, what are you going to do here? So can't really complain about this character at all. Like I said, no matter what, is that this is going to be an update for the character overall. Squirrel Girl is also gaining an artifact inside here, and you can see it's called Faded Victory, and she gets ignore target's dodge rate by 15%, an additional for total instinct, and then increases basic damage dealt to boss types by 15% as well. So like I said, this is probably going to make her really good against the Frost Beast and inside of YetiCaster. Like that's where I see her probably, you know, currying the most favor anyways for her build. Not to mention, like I said, the uniform effect pairs well with Thanos, so having her on Thanos' team, if you want to use him for PvE, this is probably going to be a uniform you want to purchase just for that. Be mindful that essentially the uniform is going to be limited time sale, so if you don't get the uniform, you'll miss out on it completely anyways. Now, much to my chagrin, she gains the look that Thanos has here for the Obsidian King, and we kind of gain this new farmer looking Thanos kit that I'm just not all that happy about, but we'll see how it looks when it fully fleshed out in game. I'm not really happy about, like, Thanos has had some pretty epic looks over the years. I'm not really ecstatic about seeing Thanos you know, come looking somewhat suspect inside a farmer's uniform. Just not my anticipation. I don't know. This is not my thing. So anyways, Thanos' uniform effect, he doesn't really gain anything here at all. It's still the same 5%, 50%, and then the same recovery of 70% of HP. So not a whole lot in terms of changing the uniform for the uniform effect specifically. This is going to go to the same thing that I have stated before. Why do we not get a transmog option in the game so that way I can use new uniforms but still maintain old looks? I would love if they just added this. I don't know why. I doubt that it'll ever come, but it is what it is, right? So I guess, you know, we that's what we deal with. So Thanos's ultimate endless skill, ultimate void here, basically nothing changes here at all either. So don't look for any big changes. It's the same exact skill as it was previously. Yeah, nothing to write home about his endless void skill. So let's take a look at some of his other leaderships and passives and see what we got here. His leadership, Mad Reflection, does get a nice little bonus to it, so this still applies to all villain allies, but he also gains increase all basic attacks by 50, all basic defenses by 40, so a nice 15% bonus and a nice 25% bonus there. And then still, when the his activation rate, when debuffed, applies to all villain allies. He removes debuffs for 12 seconds. Cooldown time is still 20 seconds. So a nice little buff there. Nothing necessarily like, oh yeah, we'll have to see how it makes him look overall, but a nice little buff overall for the character. So we get Mad Titan, his passive, right? This one has some changes inside here, right? So Mad Titan is now going to be called True Peace, and instead of just dealing that superhero faction 30%, he gains increased basic damage to super villain faction as well by 20%. So this is going to really knock him out the park. If he was hitting well enough alone, now he's not going to have problems with some of the villains that hit even higher up. He still keeps the 20% HP recovery, which isn't a bad time. It's cooldown 2 seconds. So this is really not bad at all. Titan's going to get hit and Titan's going to smack back. That's basically what it is, right? So Space Throne is going to get a change as well. So so we still keep the same skill damage to dealt to targets for the 80/80 buff here that we see, but he gets a little bit bonus onto increased skill damage and increased bonus damage. Well, the bonus damage doesn't get an increase, but the skill damage gets a 9% increase to 25% overall there. So like it's like the smidgen up above, right? So it's like, okay, we don't really need this dude to hit so damn hard because where he was hitting was really good. Even still at T3, he needed some help, but we'll see how that comes out. So first skill is now going to be called Titan Agriculture. We previously had nothing on a skill but Burn. We don't really get anything here. It's just bleed. I hate that. But we also gain stun inside of here. So we get a 2-second stun on here. You're probably not going to really use it that much. Second skill is going to be called Pest Control. We get the snare instead of the stun and removes active buff from the target. So I wonder if this has changed a little bit because it says remove all buffs from target and now it's remove active buff from target. 1 second cooldown. So I wonder how that wording gets pushed. But anyways, third skill, Ruler's Command, is now called Harvest Day. He gains Fear, He has incapacitation on the skill. He still keeps the increase all basic attacks and defenses, still for the 25, 10, and 30. But he does gain the 100% chance to grant all damage immunity for 3 seconds. This is on a 14-second cooldown, so 7 seconds. So basically, like it's a little uptick from the 13 to 14. So you're like at 7 seconds between rotations on these. So it's going to be a little tricky to play around that one to get the damage immunity different from Squirrel Girl a little bit there. But he does get some damage immunity chances inside here, so this should be good for him for his 3rd skill. 4th skill, Titan's Blast, is now called Soil Till. Why they do my man like this? Anyways, we still keep the enable attacking enemies who have ignore targeting. He gains, he already had bleed, excuse me. He does gain shock. I don't know that anybody cares about shock. He still keeps the stun for 3 seconds, and he keeps the fracture for 5 seconds. He does get paralysis, which ignores immunity overall. I can't remember. Paralysis wasn't on his skill. And then he still keeps the applies to self, the 80% chance to penetrate with super armor, barrier shield and all, and he keeps the invincible for 5 seconds. Oh no, immunity to all debuffs. Yeah. No. So he loses out the immunity to all debuffs. That's weird. So on his 5th skill, Obsidian Bombardment, we now get Scarecrow. I am so fearful about what the joke that they're gonna turn my man Thanos into. So he has burn for 30, he has silence for 2 seconds, he has decrease all basic defenses for up to 60%, which was previously there. And now, yes, you heard that correctly, now he gets accumulation for 10% of pure damage when attacking and 0.8% increase all basic attacks when 1% of pure damage is accumulated. He still keeps the excluding bosses, ignore targeting, ignores enemies damage decrease by 30%. So we're going to end up with a Thanos who's probably going to be very well suited for you to bounce back and forth between PvE and PvP. This is crazy, but we're probably going to end with that. So it's not like they tilt his kit but so much. We'll have to see how things play out. It's just weird because now we're gonna get a Thanos that probably can realistically bounce back and forth between PvE and PvP, and I'm worried because I'm like, is it gonna be a joke? Like, we'll have to wait for the skills to see how they're gonna look overall, but it is what it is, I guess, right? So Thanos is also getting his tier 4 inside of here, and we can see he gets decreased all basic attacks by 50%, and he has applies to self. He increases basic damage by 20%. This stacks up to 60% for 7 seconds. And he increases chain hit damage by 30% when attacking. Energy damage, 1000% of physical attack. I have got to see if this is a joke. I have got to see if this is a joke. 1000%, or do they mean that it was a mistake and it's supposed to be 100%? So like if you go back to a character like Black Bolt, I think was the character where it was like that. Let me see. Was it Black Bolt or was it Hulk? Let me take a look real quick. So I think it was it was Black Bolt on his skill, and he had like energy 150% of energy attack. Wasn't him. What character did we have like that? Was it Hulk? Let's take a look. No, it wasn't him. So I think this is probably like a typo there for energy damage, 1000% of physical attack. I don't think that that's right. I just, something might be wrong off there. So we'll see. But we haven't seen any updates yet today to exactly know. So essentially, these are the uniforms that we're gonna get tonight. You know, Squirrel Girl is gonna look like Obsidian King Thanos, and Thanos is gonna look like some like some hobo on the farm. Now I think there's going to be a lot of pushback against this update because it's going to be an expensive update. Thanos is 2,500 crystals, which is basically $25, and then you basically got Squirrel Girl coming in at another $20, so they're basically fleecing you for $45 overall for just 2 uniforms inside of an update. Not to mention, I think a lot of players are going to be a little bit pissed because we still don't have new rewards or ways to basically earn any tier 4 materials. You know, like I get it. They just gave you an update where you basically had free to play, you know, bonanza with these characters, right? and now we move into this update, and they're basically fleecing you for money. Now, address the main point here is the frequency in which we're getting tier 4 characters and the ability to actually tier 4 characters. Look, I'm going to work on Thanos. He's definitely going to be a character I plan on tier 4ing, but even I just don't have the resources to tier 4 him. There's going to be no way with a character like Thanos that I'm going to have enough Carbonadium or Souls of the 14 in order to meet the ability to actually tier 4 this character. Especially, you know, I feel bad for the people that basically went in and was like, yeah, I'm going to tier 4 Doc Ock and I'm going to tier 4 this character. I'm still being pretty meager with what I am doing in terms of my tier 4s. I'm tier 4ing characters that are like characters I actually want to tier 4 and characters I actually intend to play with. And unfortunately, there's no way you can keep up with the tier 4 schedule unless you're shelling out money. Granted, there has to be. We're 8 years in to this game, which I don't think even I couldn't have imagined that this game was going to survive 8 years. I mean, think about Marvel, damn, what was the game that I missed? Marvel Heroes Omega. Think about Marvel Future Revolution. Like, we're 8 years into this game, and they have to make money in order to continue to produce for the game. All I'm asking for, and I'm going to keep saying this in any of videos where we have updates, because I just don't understand what the hesitation is. I get you have to make money. I'm just saying, give us other ways to essentially earn these Souls of the 14, these Carbonadiums. Like, even if you don't want to just give us another additional way, because this is the Souls of the 14 are tied to Dormammu, but maybe with Galactus you could introduce, you know, some Carbonadium being done here. Doesn't have to be to the degree that it was before, but give me a reason to want to play Galactus. Give me a reason to want to play Master Mold, and say like maybe I can earn 150. So like Master Mold is going to be 50 Carbonadium and Galactus is going to be 100 Carbonadium. So now I'm only, you know, hamstrung by one resource, the Souls of the 14 or something like that, along with the books. I mean, you can still put the books over here as well, but you know, it's just like one of those things where I'm just like give some to get some, because short of that you're gonna end up losing players, because it's still 8 years into a game that is quite old. And to be honest with you, I hope to God the uniform looks good, because the uniform in the trailers doesn't look that great, and it's like I feel like I took a step back in time for that uniform. But we'll see how it pans out overall. The update does go live tonight. Should be like a rolling update, and then we get it. We'll see what happens, because it's kind of weird. We're basically April 4th right now, and it's gonna be kind of weird to see when the next update is gonna come. I didn't expect this to come this way, so unless they're prepping for something else, like, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy, and so we're trying to get on schedule with that. But that's the update coming to you guys tonight. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section below. Hopefully I get the update early, and that way I can, you know, give you guys some content here in the next couple of hours. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, peace.